Good afternoon, I'm Brenda Galindo from the Bachelor Degree Program in Languages. Next, I will talk about generative linguistics. Generative linguistics was developed by the American linguistics Noam Chomsky in the 1950s. It is an approach to the study of human languages that focuses on the innate ability to acquire languages. The fundamental principles of generative linguistics are human languages has an innate structure. Human beings are born with a specific biological capacity to acquire languages. There are universal rules that govern all human languages. These rules make up the universal grammar. Chomsky distinguished between competence, the unconscious knowledge of grammatical rules, and performance, the actual use of languages. Generative linguistics focuses on competence. Other key areas are the distinction between deep and surface structure and the notion that sentences have an underlying syntactic structure. Stephen Crane, Robert Friedin, Howard Nassing, and Juan Urrega have continued to develop and refine the principles of generative linguistics. Here is a simple example of how generative analysis can be applied in linguistics. Notice the sentence: John gave Mary a book as a present. According to the generative analysis, deep structure represents the basic meaning of the sentences. In this case, it will be something like John made Mary receive a book. Surface structure, it is the actual structure of the words in the sentences. It will be subject John plus verb gave plus indirect object he plus direct object a book plus indirect object to marry. To move from a deep structure to a shallow one, certain rule or transformation apply. For example, word order, insertion of prepositions, change from active to passive voice, etc. The generative linguistic will try to identify the underlying universal rules and principles that allow this transformation in Spanish and other languages. Grammatical universal. The rules will come from the innate universal grammar shared by all humans. Only the specific parameters of each language will vary. Thus, generative linguistics attempts to explain human linguistic competences as a system for innate rules that manifest themselves in linguistic performance. Thus, generative linguistics attempts to explain human linguistic competence as a system of innate rules that manifest themselves in linguistic performance. Actually, the generative linguistics has been highly frequential but also controversial. It remains an active approach in modern theoretical linguistics. Thanks for listening to me. Bye.